like super close to my face. I don't think you can really even see my mouth. Basically, next door neighbour's dog is having an absolute fit. I've literally sat here for the last 20 minutes waiting for him to shut up, and he won't. So I've had to massively take down the gain, and we're going super close up for this one, so hopefully it sounds okay. But yeah, these things, you know, when you live in a terraced house, these things are often completely out of your control. But this evening, we've got what I think is going to be hopefully a fun one. We're going to be taking a look at people's anonymous confessions, and I've probably put NSFW in the title. For those of you that don't know, that stands for Not Safe for Work, so some of these might be a little bit 18 plus rated, let's say. But I think I did this as a member exclusive video, and I think we've done Vessel videos before. But essentially in this video we're going to start off on the confessions Reddit page, and then we'll probably end the video with going on Vessel and seeing what delights are on there for us. So should be a fun, entertaining one, and hopefully you find it relaxing as well. But without further ado, let's get into the confessions. This first confession is titled, "Found $760, didn't return it, even though I knew who had lost it. When I was like 13, I was doing my laundry. I lived in an apartment complex, so we had a laundry room. One day I was walking back to my apartment and saw a wad of money on the floor. I stopped quickly, picked it up and stuck it in my laundry and kept walking. Like 30 seconds later, one of my neighbours came running around the corner and he asked me if I saw money anywhere. He was kinda a jerk to me a few times, so I said no." I feel like karma is probably gonna hit him like crazy at some point, I would assume. Or like, maybe meet in the middle. Why don't you take like $100 out, give him $660 and be like, "Oh, this is just all I found, take a $100 reward for being a good citizen," kind of. Oh, okay. This next one, definitely NSFW, you have been warned. First time using a pocket pussy equals hyperventilation experience. Okay. Backstory, I'm a 24-year-old male, never had sex before. I've gotten a blowjob in my early years of college. Recently, I've been more horny since turning 24. and the thought of a pocket pussy, that is such a disgusting term. I really don't know why I've decided to do this video. And the thought of a pocket pussy, a thought I've had of getting since I was younger, turned to reality. How exciting. Well, my first time ever using it was very intense, as it would be. I lubed up and went to the bathroom, and then I went to work on it. I maybe had it on for 10 seconds, and I had the most intense orgasm that I pissed instead. Hindsight, I should have went to the restroom beforehand, but yes, this was my first orgasm. My eyes went blurry, I was profusely sweating, I had ringing in my ear, nauseous for a minute, and then I had an extreme thirst once I realised I should sit down before potentially passing out. That's my story. I have to admit it's a little sad. I experienced all of this with a pocket pussy rather than a real girl. However, I'm really concerned I'll potentially be inside of a girl or even pass out when it's time for the real thing. Goodness me. He put an edit. Hi guys, it's now a few hours later. Just tried it for a second time. Flawless, no problems. That's kind of like, so I mean it's good, it's actually good he put that edit, because otherwise that would be sounds like he's almost had like a bit of a panic attack. But maybe he was just sort of he maybe just got in his own head a little bit about the act. But goodness gracious me, you know, the ironic thing is pocket pussy is it's kind of like a nice sounding ASMR word, but I really do apologise. That is such a vulgar term. What are they called? We don't really call them that in England. Fleshlight. A fleshlight, I think, is more what it is. I personally have never used one. Right, started with a bang, if you pardon the pun. Next one is titled, I used to pocket the cash payments for the $5 footlong. When I was young, I worked at Subway during the $5 footlong deal. When customers would come in and order just the sub, it was easy math. $5.40 every time. So I would simply bring in a roll of quarters and dimes to work and give them back 60 cents from my pocket and keep their $6 they usually handed me. Usually ended up pocketing $50 to $60 a day. The manager never figured it out. Even when the bread counts were short 10 to 12 every night. They would always say it's normal. We sometimes toss bread, eat it for our lunch break, or simply count wrong. So he never even looked into it. Made good money. I really don't know how people have the almost the bravery to do that. Like, my conscience would just eat away at me until I just eventually confessed. Probably. I really don't think I could hack it. This one is titled, I used to do support for a campsite. I know that's me showing my innocence there. I used to do support for a campsite. Very, very, very different to a campsite. Had to take a year off work due to what I dealt with. I really just wanted to shout into the void for a minute here. I used to do customer service and model support for one of the big 3 campsites online. Mostly chat support and anti-fraud stuff, but I'd work with approving models and doing moderation duties when it got slow on a shift. Let's just say I saw some shit. Some dark, disturbing acts perpetrated on some of the most vulnerable people out there. People that are trying to escape the lives they live in. Third world countries, single mothers, etc. I work IT in a hospital now across the country where no one knows me, and it's a whole heck of a lot better. Thanks for taking some time to listen to a random nerd on the internet. It wasn't all bad though. On bad days I'd read Voldemort's chat logs and have a chuckle. Yeah, like, it's kind of, not kind of, that's kind of like more of a serious one, to be honest, because, yeah, those campsites, no one really knows for sure the situation that, the people involved in, and a lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of the times, they are trapped in that world, and it's borderline like a form of prostitution. All power to you if you want to do that, a free will, like, hey, crack on, earn the money, but there are some cases where, the people are sadly trapped and don't really have a way out or an alternative. I feel like this video is an absolute roller coaster, up and down. Let's move to a funny one. I don't know if this is funny, but my husband wants more money. This is my second marriage and his third. We've been married 7 years. We're in our late 50s. He has a good job where he makes 180k a year. That's lovely. He plans to retire in 4 years. We have savings and a pension. Financially, we are set. When we got married, I had a house in another state. I sold it in 2020 and made $80,000 profit. I lived in the house for several years as a single mum raising my kids. I put that money into savings and made my kids beneficiaries. I also have a 120k life insurance policy policy my husband is a beneficiary on. Now, he wants the savings account with 80k too. He says it's because we are spouses and should have each other on everything. Oh yeah. He does not agree that I leave something for my adult kids. My question is it reasonable for me to want to leave my children something when I'm gone? My husband makes me feel like I'm out of line. I just think we think differently. Yeah, your husband's being a dick. I still think it's super healthy as a couple living together, married, whatever. I think it's healthy to still have your sort of like separate savings accounts, and ultimately you've got your separate incomes and stuff. I think maybe that becomes a bit different when the one of you in the couple becomes like the sole like income bringer. But I still think to an extent it's kind of healthy to have separate, like, even though you're living together, you'll still do separate lives. And plus you made that money, not him, so you damn well choose who it goes to and where it goes. Like, he really cannot tell you what to do with that. Okay. This one is titled, I have run out of sympathy for a friend I've known for 35 years, whose life is a never-ending pity party. Pity party, pity party, pity party. For context, friend, me, her husband, my husband are all 55. We are all in the same income bracket. My friend and her husband have never planned for the future. They wasted money on concerts, Star Trek memorabilia, but never do car maintenance and have been kicked out of places for hoard and having multiple animals. They were kicked out of a mobile home community for violating rules and being behind on lot rent. They are observant Christians who do not use alcohol or drugs. The money all goes to this memorabilia they collect. Hell yeah. Grossly irresponsible, but I respect it. I would spend all my money on Pokemon cards if I could. Friends aunt used to enable/bail them out, but died and left a car and cashed her. Okay, that's not ideal. Friend inherited 50k and bought a rundown house without an inspection, and you guessed it, shit is falling apart in the home. And it is in a neighbourhood where most of the homes are condemned. The memorabilia is rotting in their damp basement in the dilapidated home. I love that word. Dilapidated. Years ago I suggested selling some when it did not have a damp odour, and they got angry. They buy cars and never keep up with inspection. Both cars are now out of commission and rotting in front of the house, and they have no car to drive, and the enablers are gone in their lives. Friend has been letting me know that she has no car and found out the problem started because she neglected maintenance. Broke down on freeway with 2 flat-balled tyres. I've been the opposite, maintaining cars and keeping them for years, paying bills on time, curbing my entertainment expenses to take care of necessities like updates on home and cars. I had nobody to bail me out. Friend says every time I see her, I see you got a new car. No, it's the same 13-year-old car I've had for 10 years. I just keep it clean, oiled, maintained with tyres and brakes. We are both in the same income bracket, but friend tells me I am lucky. She assumes I was left a big inheritance. I was left with nothing, because my parents also were the same. Spent money they didn't have, went into massive debt, died in debt. I'm really responsible and think I've become this way after watching my parents play the victims all their lives. My husband felt like maybe we should help and feel sorry for them. I said no, because this has been a never-ending story for 30 plus years. I've run out of empathy and sympathy. is super, it's super self-inflicted. So I really don't blame the writer for, for feeling that way, 100%. Right, next one, we're going back into the cam model world. The title is I Fell for a Cam Model for a Moment. As a lonely old man, I was scrolling through adult campsites. I clicked a room. A pretty Colombian was there. Long curly black hair, girl next door kinda looks. She PM'd me and was so receptive to my problems. Virtually cuddled me. It felt so warm. It felt so genuine. She was so nice. I spent a good 2 hours just chatting. It led up to sexual stuff. Then realised, wait, what the fuck am I doing? She's nice, receptive and understanding because that's her job. I only realised it when she asked for tokens. Wow, did I feel stupid? That's because I was. I deleted the account, learned my lesson but no money was spent. I immediately thought of a guy that's in prison for wiping out his family over a cam model. The guy is Gran Amato. She did not care either way too. She was only doing her job. The guy spent hundreds of thousands thinking she liked him. I can see how that can happen. Gladly I was snapped into reality. No cute young woman is going to even glance the way of some random old nobody. That's only fantasy. The stuff the bros are paid to do. Congrats on that very honed skill. The top reply is this the all rare case of pre-nut clarity? Possibly. I'm not gonna delve into that phrase. Do your own research if you don't know what that is. This one is titled, I believe I cause my body to produce a perpetual high. I do not nor will not encourage any behaviour to be replicated of what I do in this post, they've said. For context, about January 2022, I have started to experiment with OTC narcotics from a dear friend of mine. And recently I have started to try 80 to 90 proof alcohol. I am 100% aware of what my body can handle. A few months ago I had a wisdom tooth surgery and had gotten the 600 mg version of ibuprofen for pain. Even before the surgery and still today, I am a heavy Monster energy drinker. I can drink 5 to 6 Monster imports in a day. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. I am able to consume about 3/4 of a peanut butter jar full of 45% alcohol. Does peanut butter have? Oh, does it just mean in terms of size? Right. I am very stupid and was just about to ask, oh my gosh, does peanut butter have alcohol in it? I strongly believe that there is a chemical reaction between these 3 ingredients to cause this. I do not know what type of reaction happens between these elements, but it is causing a weed type high in my body. I'm not reading out the chemical symbols for alcohol, caffeine and ibuprofen. The only side effects are that 1, I smell like raw meat if I don't use deodorant. 2, minor episodes of blindness with unable to focus/hear. 3, sleeping problems, and 4, forgetting some words. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. None of those 4 things really sound worth it to have a constant chilled out, relaxed feeling in your body. Sounds a lot like, I mean, you said you know what your body can handle, but with those things happening, I would suggest that's your body crying for help and crying for you to stop, probably. Doesn't really sound ideal. My wife is pregnant. We just found out and we're not telling anyone we know quite yet, but I'm so fucking overjoyed and I can't keep it to myself. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a wholesome the same values of freedom and empathy that my wife and I have always tried to uphold. I don't know, their life is going to be their life and their decision obviously, but we're finally going to have a family, and since I can't tell everyone I know in real life yet, I wanted to tell the people here. My grandfather died last week. He raised me like a father, and I lived with him during my childhood, so it's bittersweet, circle of life and all that. He said he didn't care whether we had kids or not, but one look in his eyes and you could tell he was hoping we did. I know most people would say I'm crazy for thinking this, but I know he's up there celebrating with us. Wow, that is so wholesome, as the light behind me dies. I'm sure I'll get there one day, but I am so envious of, well, not really envious, but I think it's amazing when people are so passionate and excited about having kids. I do want kids of my own someday, not right now. My partner's the same, we're kind of just enjoying just being by ourselves and the sort of independence. But I do think it's so cool. I mean, it sounds like they really want them to change the world, but I guess every parent kind of wants that for their kid, I guess, to an extent. But I do think it's very cute and cool when people are so overexcited to be parents. But yeah, wow, nice little wholesome one there. Makes a nice change. There's a few on here to do with SA. I'm gonna steer away from them, because even for an NSFW video, I think that's just I just think that's too much. Let's see. I'm gonna do. So I did the top post for the week. I'm gonna do for the month and see. Okay, this one sounds mad. My girlfriend was poking holes in my condoms, so we've gone from a man who was overjoyed to be giving birth to what I assume a man who really doesn't want one. I'm male 25 and my now ex-girlfriend is female 22. We've been together for a few years and everything was going great until she started pressuring me into getting married and having kids. I wasn't ready for that commitment and I made it very clear to her. However, she just wouldn't let it go. She kept bringing it up, trying to convince me that we should take our relationship to the next level. I felt suffocated and stressed out by her constant nagging. Then one day I discovered something that completely shattered my trust in her. I found her poking holes in the condoms we were using. I was shocked and angry beyond words. It felt like a huge betrayal of my trust and our relationship. I confronted her about it and she tried to downplay it, saying she just wanted to speed things up because she knew I was hesitant about having kids. But I couldn't believe her excuses. I couldn't be with someone who would manipulate me like that. So I ended things with her. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, but I knew it was the right thing for me. I couldn't stay with someone who didn't respect me, my boundaries, and would go behind my back like that. Some of our mutual friends are saying I overreacted, and that breaking up with her was too harsh. But I can't shake the feeling that I dodged a bullet. Yeah, those aren't mutual friends. They are her friends, and they are fucking idiots. 100% did the right thing. That is crazy. That totally makes sense. A man is hesitant about having kids, so what do? Force him to have kids? That's definitely going to be the answer. People sometimes just need to come to the realization sooner that maybe we're just not right for each other. I think that's kind of a deal breaker if you're not on the same page about, marriage, kids, family, etc. Then potentially it is better to nip it in the bud after a bit of talking, of course, because it might be that you can reach some kind of compromise, but that is mad. That is mad. The fact she tried to defend it as well is just absolutely crazy to me. right, we've got, I see the next 3 I've got lined up, and the first 2 kind of sound serious, and the third, goodness me. Okay, I shoplifted at the grocery store out of sheer hunger and desperation. Several months ago, my husband and I hadn't eaten in a day and a half. Bills to the ceiling, broker then broke. We were starving. Told him I'd go to the grocery store and get us some stuff for the next few days until one of us got paid. They had a buffet to go bar. We had $15 combined in our checking account and the bowel scheduled to be shut off the next day. The food was priced by weight in the to-go container. It was a lot of food, I mean a lot. Even to get us both through 2 to 3 days, meats, chicken, beef, salad, veggies, fruit, pasta, cheese. I mean whatever I could stuff in that box. Could barely keep it closed. Had to carry it with 2 hands. I had a plan but didn't know how it would work, but I had to give it a go. I set it down on the scale at checkout. $47. I panicked, silently, but quickly made a swift decision. Picked the box up so the screen would clear, then barely touched the box down on the scale. I mean barely, only the corner touching, keeping the other hand just under it so it looked like the box was sitting there. $5 and change. Quickly moved it to the banking area. Never picked up my head to look around so as to not draw attention. Had to double bag it, it was so heavy. Slid my card praying it wouldn't decline. Success. Ditched the receipt and came straight home. Yeah, the top comment is, if anyone ever sees somebody stealing groceries, no you fucking didn't. I'd obviously never advocate stealing, but I probably would. In fact, I definitely would. Like, it's stories like that that make you, like, just remind you that a lot of us are in such, like, a blessed position, and literally, I'm just amazed she even decided to pay $5. Like, what is $42 to probably a big chain supermarket, when, like, that's $42 to them, but it's probably fed this couple for a week. Like, it could have been a game changer. And I know a lot of people are in positions and don't steal, but I get it. But I don't get it because I'm in the privileged position to have not ever been in that position, but I totally get why you would steal. But yeah, I love that comment. If you've seen someone stealing groceries, no you fucking didn't. Right, next one. I have all this money but no one to leave it to. I have late-stage pancreatic cancer, and for the most part I'm a dead man walking. I accepted it. I still have some time left that I can enjoy. I didn't know how hard it is to get your affairs in order. I've been working since I was 16, and saved. I wanted to retire at 50, but I'll be dead at 43. Fuck man, that's horrible. I reviewed everything, from retirement to cash to life insurance, my house, etc., and have about 2.5 million net to my estate. I have nobody to leave it to. I've no kids of my own, and I'm not on speaking terms with my siblings, although they all of a sudden want to reconcile and be my best friend. They didn't reach out until after I was told that it was terminal, which was months after I was diagnosed. Had one person reached out or even asked if I needed a ride to the hospital, then I'd leave everything to them. I have 6 nephews, but only met one when he was like 7, and he's now 17. He's turning into a mess like his parents, so that would be a bad idea to leave him money. The family would hound him for some, and that's not fair to put a target on his back, or give the means to do stupid shit. It disgusts me that people are more concerned about what I'm doing with my money and house than how I'm doing. I can't trust them to follow through on any final requests like spread at the ask me for money, so I'll leave my estate matters unresolved and let my family fight over it. I hope most ends up going to lawyer fees. Edit, I'm not leaving anything to fund college scholarships. I'd leave money to a politician before giving it to a college. At least they're not to charity, that would have been my suggestion. Or like, if the hospital or whatever, maybe he goes to a hospice or something for end-of-life care. If they treat him particularly well, just leave it to them. But man, that is... This person said sponsor something so your name is around, like a wing of your local hospital or a gallery, lecture hall or museum wing, etc. That is annoying. Like, that, I mean, annoying is probably not the right word, but like, I mean, firstly, a really, really tragic situation, like one of those things I'm sure nobody ever plans for. And then it just turns out that, you don't have kids and all your family are dicks, so that's really shit. There's not really anything else to say about that one. Right, this is the one I read that is mad, and it's really going back to the NSFW aspect. Honestly, this video is so up and down. I feel like we've had discussions about, wealth and all these, like, semi-deep things. And now this one's titled, I accidentally shit during an orgy. Welcome to my channel, guys. Right. My ex called me today and told me to be ready in 30 minutes because him and his friends were coming to pick me up. I got ready, they picked me up and we all hung out. Then they went and got their 2 other friends. His friend kept making jokes about wanting to have sex with me. We end up at the casino parking lot and he turns around and asks if I want to have a threesome with him. My ex, and one of the other 2 people who were with us, and I agreed. We all went to my ex's, watched a movie, and everyone left me alone in the house. They came back and told me what we were gonna do. Okay, this is a rather descriptive summary of their sexual plans for the evening. Don't really want to repeat it. Various members of the group were in various positions with the female. Everything was going well. I was sucking, my ex was fill in the blank. He was hitting it rough and I didn't realise I shit. We all thought it was just a queef, as you do. And when my ex finished, the other guy went. My ex left the room, then a little while later the others also left. My ex comes back with napkins and explains to me what happened. He stated he wasn't mad and he understands what happened, but I know when they brought me home, they were making fun of me. And the top comment has more upvotes than the story, just says, holy shit. Holy shit indeed. I wonder if this video will be demonetized. I don't really know. Maybe because it's softly whispering. We might get away with it. Who knows? Oh, dearie me. Okay. This one is titled, My Wife is Terrifying. I, 23 male, fucking love her, 23 female, but holy shit, she scares me shitless all the time. She isn't intimidating at all, but she sometimes talks in a certain way, a sort of low tone, somewhat seductive, but it doesn't turn me on. It fucking creeps my shit out. Secondly, she watches gore, has been doing so for a while. She is extremely desensitized to violence, and makes violent fantasies about people she doesn't like. Oh gosh. this, combined with her recently discovered sociopathic and hypersexual elements, kinda scare me. Every single night I come back to make dinner, and after I do so I usually sit around, watching YouTube or playing video games. And my wife comes back from work around that time. Instead of ringing the goddamn doorbell, she lockpicks the door. I still don't understand how she does that. And comes behind me and just stays there. Till I notice her. Sometimes she says things like, "You're doing good," or "interesting," of anything regarding what I'm doing. I was alone at home the moment before, so I jump. I've confronted her about this. She says she knows and that she does this shit for my reaction. In fact, whenever I'm home, she always picks the fucking lock. Goodness me. Yeah, she is a sociopath. There was also this one time my leg cramps were acting up to the point where I couldn't walk. I was shouting for her to help me. When she came, she just sat there with a thin smile on her face. At that point, I lost it and said, "What the fuck are you waiting for?" She just said, "It's cute watching you in pain." Okay. She also never asks for sex. I have to put my foot down and say no, or she'll go ahead. She also wears very exposing clothes at home that make me kinda uncomfortable. She knows that and continues. Oh yeah, also the hypersexuality and sociopathy things reference my previous posts for brief shit. I've explained everything there. But the relevant thing is the part where she threatened to kill a homeless woman's child, which caught me off guard. What the actual fuck? Oh, and she stabbed a rabid dog. It was self-defense, so yeah. What the actual heck? She really likes watching me cry, by the way. It's fucked up, but yeah. And when she's really, really drunk. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat this. But she forces herself on him. I know some of y'all think it's not justified, but to be fair, she's on 5 bottles and can barely walk. Attempts never really work out as she just flings her naked self at me, which doesn't particularly work as she's smaller than me. I just move aside to hold her, pretty easy. Another thing, I mean, I feel like this person is writing this list almost to convince himself to leave her, but I'm worried if he leaves her that she will potentially murder him. Another thing is that she tries to physically assault a lot of people. Also gotten arrested. Some I believe she got away with, though no proof. I don't want to break up with her because she does in fact love me. Yeah, really, truly sounds like it. This is a true Romeo and Juliet story. She just is a wee bit fucked up. This is some animal yandere I can fix her type shit, but how the Jesus almighty may I go about this? I'm writing this in bed drowsy as hell at 3 in the morning, recovering from a hangover, so I don't remember much stuff. Just shit from the top of my head. But yeah, the lockpick thing is an issue I want help with. Out of all the things you've listed, the lockpicking is the thing you've got a bigger issue with. You are absolutely mental. Goodness me. Does she not have a key to the house? Like she wouldn't ring the doorbell. But why doesn't she have a key? Why does she have to pick the lock? What are people saying? Are you both doing meth? 100% there are no way there are people like this sober. Yeah, it really sounds like she's got like a psychopath, like sociopath, like fetish thing. Fair play for loving that still, but I would possibly move country, to be completely honest. next one. I have a very small penis, but I don't care, and honestly, never really have. I need my penis to make me cum. I don't need it to make a woman cum. Holy shit. You could get that tattooed. It's literally not a factor. I also don't need a large penis to reproduce. Not everyone will like what I have, but I really don't care about that either. Less than 4 inches hard, but I have fingers and a tongue, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, fair play. I respect the self-confidence, and also, yeah, that actually does make sense. To be fair, I guess a lot of people would be a lot happy if they came to that epiphany. Deary me. Right, let's pick one more to finish off with. Do we go with a risque one again? Oh my gosh, I'm not reading that one. That is terrible. Even for an NSFW video, goodness gracious. Although I will read it, off camera. Okay, here we go. NSFW. Boyfriend thinks I have an ugly vagina. We have been together for 6 months. I have one of those beef curtains vaginas, for which I've elected to have surgery. He keeps talking about how he can't wait for my surgery so they can make me pretty down there. And once, when we were drunk, he straight up called it ugly, which made me really upset and I cried. He also often says that he doesn't feel comfortable having sex with me. I've asked him to stop as I get really upset when he says something like that because, well, I don't feel attractive. I never really have. However, he didn't stop making such comments. I can feel bad and cry about it for days after he says such things. I can't tell anyone in real life because I'm embarrassed and it weighs heavily on me. Yeah, that he needs to bloody man up. Like, seriously. Like, if he actually loves you, like, I don't really see what the issue is. Like, you don't have to stare at it. Like, if you don't like the look at it, fine. You're within your right to find it weird looking. Most of them are weird looking. But to constantly make, like, demeaning and upsetting comments is just, like, such a dick move. Like, either get on with it, shut up, she can't help it, like, she's born that way. Forcing her to get surgery as well is fucked. Like, girl, you need to just cut and run. You'll find somebody who looks past it and is actually a man about it. Like, not that they even need to be a man about it, because literally, what's the big deal? I really don't understand that. But then some people are just weird, are very weird. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight's video. I sincerely apologise if it was too